Hello, everybody. I'm Dr. Jesse Jackson III. I am the best-selling author and facilitator of the Closing the Charter School Gap book and training series, and the lead advisor and consultant here at the Best Man Company, LLC. Hello, everybody. And I'm really excited and always feel great excitement when I talk charter school business. I like to believe, as I review my career, I believe a lot of my really big breaks came on the charter school circuit. A lot of my breakthrough really came charter. And so I have a special spot in my heart for charter schools because of the charter business and how I learned it. I was a part of helping my church at the time. I mean, that's 20 plus years ago. Go through the private school to charter process. And so I started learning because I was working at the university at the time. And back at that time, most of the charters came through a local university. So I had insight and my church kind of tapped me, and I learned the charter school business then. And as I began to, at that time, I would reach out to them because I knew what type of help they needed, because at that time, it wasn't clear whether charter schools would survive. And because of the business model, a lot of people still didn't, the governments wouldn't even pay charter schools what they paid public. And so I learned the charter school business. So when I wrote this book, this is the combination of all of my experience and knowledge back from the early 2000s. And I like to believe, like 2009, I really had a national come out party where I got an opportunity to start going to schools around the country, charter schools around the country, seeing things firsthand. And I have seen people do it correctly. And this is honest, and this is what I would pose to y'all, and somebody can let me know. It would be really hard pressed. I would really like to know. Then there's like some great veterans and some of the best people in our business that have done charter school. But I would challenge, and not even challenge, but I would ask, it's probably only a handful of people that probably have more experience and seasoning and has done more than I, as an independent outsider that have seen some of the largest charter school companies in the country, largest management companies in the country, have seen people with that have built systems where their school runs like a franchise. And I've seen it all. I have seen people absolutely ruin it. I've seen people do the wrong things, steal money, mismanage money, go out of business, go to prison. I've seen partnerships dissolve. I have seen people stay at certain levels their entire career, right? They couldn't get out of that 1 to 2 school range. They just couldn't scale, right? I've seen it all. And I'm still here in 2023. I've seen it through COVID. I've seen it where charter schools went through the no suspension era. So that hits the charter school culture very hard, where we're getting all of the kids from public district that they're putting out, but they're coming to us. So they're bringing us their problems. So we have to be prepared. I have seen it all and still seeing a lot. What I have recognized about the charter schools present a great opportunity for students. The thing is that I'm always encouraging my charter schools to do is, how do you continue to build and maintain a school that is for the benefit of the students? Charter school is a for-profit education situation. It's 2 sides to the charter school business. One is the business, enrollment, tuition, butts and seats, as we call it. But also remembering on the other side, we're in the business of education. So if these kids are not learning how to read, write, test, or graduating, right, we're doing a great disservice. As a charter institution, we have less barriers than a public institution, but which means we require more wisdom in hiring. We require more wisdom in building teams. We require more wisdom in managing student behavior because we're a school of choice. That's what I have seen, and where I have renewed my commitment to the charter world, and just the charter and helping the charter world to continue to understand how do we continue to build and maintain healthy charter school programs This summer, as I do every summer, I always really dedicate it to building leaders, building capacity, and in really three key areas where I'm doing with my charter school institutes, where you can get into our charter school institute and for your school, and you can take your leaders through it and your school admin team and kind of really work together to get prepared for the year. One thing is, how do we continue? How do we build and maintain a successful charter business? What we've seen in that COVID, it's always that up and down, man. It's always that, is the enrollment going to be there? And you hear a lot of people say, well, if we get this number, then we can do that. If you've said that, we all have, you know, you're not headed in the right direction, because that means you're not running your business as a system. You're running your business based on sales. What that means is a lot of folks, and I mean, I've worked for so many charter school people. That's what I said. I would want to know who's done more than me in so many states, because I've seen it done right and I've seen it done wrong. So a lot of people, a failing method is, let's get this enrollment. So let's just say, for the sake of discussion, our enrollment target is 500, because that's what our building can see. But honestly, we know 350 is the way, but management wants 500. You'll hear people say, if you get 500, you can do what you want to do. You're running a mom and pop shop like that. That's not how this works. We always operate a system. So our system's going to operate. It's not about the number, right? If we have a system, we'll always get the number. Now, the companies that understand that are the ones that I've seen thrive in COVID. I have a school in Ohio that, how is your enrollment going up in a pandemic? We stayed true to the system. We're running a system here. What do? We're running a kid first system. We are looking out for these families. There's a standard here. There's things you can and cannot do here. If you are a family in this city, you can come on in here. But this is what we're going to do. This is what we're not going to do. We run a system. And so now in a pandemic, they up 125 kids. They stayed true to the system, right? The system. The system is the culture of how you run your organization. That's what you see. So you see people that fluctuate, that they're basing their program on the numbers. Anything you get over the set number for running your system is called extra. It's called candy, as we say. That's understanding charter school. Second part is understanding, how do I build a team that stays? Number one issue for many charter schools is staff and staff turnover. One of the things we've got to understand in the charter business, I don't believe anybody said that when they were 5 years old, or even 18 or 21, I want to go work at a charter school. I don't believe that this is something. So how do people end up at charter schools? There's employees that are they have alternative skills. There's people that couldn't make it in public. It's too rigorous. It's too much structure. They need the freedom. I mean, one of my teachers of the year in one of their networks, listen, she's a teacher of the year. She's 100%, hear me clearly. She's 100%. Every kid in her grade level is reading on level. She might be one of the best teachers I've ever met in this journey. Irrefutable. But please understand, the only place she can work is at that school. You know why? The principal knows how to manage her. She loves her boss. She know her boss know how to deal with her uniqueness. And that's the only environment we'll get those results. That's the charter world. See, that's education. A lot of folks don't get that. And so a person like that can't work anywhere. They have a place they're supposed to be, and they stay with their boss the rest of their career. That's just true fact, right? That's what you've got to understand when you're running a charter school. About the dynamics, a charter school is about the right leader, right? It's not a plug and play, because in charter world, those people are working for their boss, and there's chemistry involved. There's understanding of your talent, strengths, and weaknesses. So that's why it's something you've got to do a lot of training on, building your leaders up. And so if you see a charter program that has a new school leader, like every semester, I had one school that had 4 in 1 year. And they said, Dr. Jackson, could you come help our organization? Not right now. Because who you think's the problem? Management. Right? So unless you're committed to the process, and what is the process? Getting management and the building on the same page. And that means you run a system, meaning the training programs that I run are systematic. They're not, oh, that was a great talk. No, we're in training ongoing, quarterly. Bring them leaders in, and we're going to sit down. It's like we're leadership retreating every quarter, right? Every quarter. Why? Because we've got to stay on the same page all 4 seasons. We build the leaders up, they're able to build the staff up. We keep management and the building leaders on the same page at all times. That is systematic programming. That is not, or if we get the number, we'll be able to do the training. Like training has to be locked in. What you'll get is people trying to cheap out on training with in-services. Well, that's exactly what's happening in the public schools. That's why they're failing. That's why they keep failing so many kids, which creates an abundance of opportunity for the charter world. Don't make the same mistake public did because you don't want to address. The truth is you got to develop your people. That happens with training, culture. The third thing that I find very interesting in an area that we address in this institute, the ability to manage student trauma and negative behavior in a charter school program with this system becomes paramount. What happens is that the public institutions approach it with they try to approach it with the reward system of PBIS, restorative practices, therapy, bringing social workers. I talked to a dear friend last night who was sharing with me how he wanted to do something different with his charter school. And I really saw what he's trying to do. It's about being able to teach and train like a student development program, helping the kids with their understanding. We're going to include this in a program. We're not trying to respond to your negative behavior. We created a culture, character, behavior development program as a part of our program. So the same training that teachers are going to, we create the assemblies and the training pieces so our kids can get some help before it goes there. We know that they're having trauma. We know that they're dealing with real stuff. We know that they're moving around. We know what's going on in our families. Let's make the adjustment. So you're talking about the ability to understand the business, the ability to build the right team, and the ability to manage the trauma and behavior that's going to take learning away from you. Charter schools have got to be able to keep their focus on teaching and learning. That means you have to proactively go at trauma, proactively go at behavior. And that's done with training. That's done with system. You got to know how to systematically, proactively go at it. Reaction will always cost you more money on the back end, right? So that is the type of stuff that has made, that has really been a blessing to me and been very helpful. This is what this institute is about. You see it right here. It is closing the charter school gap, how to build and maintain a successful charter school program. I want to take that successful word off there. I want to call it profitable, right? Profitable and successful. What is successful? That means you're actually helping the kid. There's a lot of people making money, but the people that get to make money are the people who actually come through what they say they're going to do. The key is we got to help these kids. These kids have got to graduate. These kids have got to get careers. These kids have got to learn how to read and write. We can't be an alternative model and we don't deliver. We've got to show our worth in the program. So this is what our charter school success model is about and our institute is about. We have all of the dates and times below. Find a time that works for you. And also you can call me to schedule a specific time to schedule this for your admin team. It is online. It is where we do it online and you have a 2-hour block that's for your group. I go about an hour, 90 minutes, break down some things, and we have a lot of time to interact and ask questions and to give you the guidance that you need. You are who you listen to. You are who you listen to. I will put, once again, I will put my experience and the successes I have had up against anybody. It's very few people that can tell you over the course I've been a 27-year professional. I've been in business for 17 years. And I have worked on both sides, the public and the charter. I have seen what works. I've been a part of what works, and I've been a part of what does not work. And that's how I learned quickly. All right, all charter programs are not created equal. Everybody's not in this for the same or the right reason, man. I could tell you some unbelievable stories of triumphs. Got major triumphs going on right now. I got some major big time charter players winning right now. And then I could tell you some horror stories of people who just did the wrong thing. They're horrible people. They did wrong by the kids, tried to live off the kids' back. And, I just talk about one, and I don't call names of school. I don't like people they name drop and who do you work with? I don't do that. I'll never do it. I can give you a state, but I don't do that, right? I don't do that. People have to kind of get in my program, be around me. But just remember, man, I've been to over 1,800 organizations that literally physically real time been in. And for the charter business, since like 2009, I could safely say well over 250 have been charter. And one program I'm especially proud of is a person just built up from really nothing, was able to get out of business with her management company, create an independent company. They're into graduation recovery, credit recovery. And I mean, they've built their program up from literally 5 graduates to over 140 graduates within 5 years. Okay. So that's the stuff that I'm proud to be a part of. I'm a winner. Everything I'm saying, I do. I don't have time yours to waste, and I don't need people around me that don't believe and don't want help. When the people come and they believe and they want to help and they're like, all right, Dr. Jackson, what you got for us? Show us the way. They get the best from me. I'm not trying to convince you. You got to know if you need help or not. You got to be ready for help. Those that are ready for help in the charter school world, this is the institute that will help your organization take a major leap this year. If you've been having these problems with staff, problem with your team, problem with behavior, and you just know you need help, you need guidance, this is what I'm here for. This is what the Institute is for. The Institute includes a book. You'll also get the book. You get the time with me. Listen, all the information is below. Register, get your school in there today. Let's help you move your organization in the direction that you want it to go to help you be more successful with helping kids to achieve their goals, their dreams with the model of teaching and learning. Dr. Jackson here, looking forward to working with you soon. I'll see you in class.